I'm here with the seventh part of the International Transport Training, Part C. In Part C, we want to get familiar with the Certificate of Origin, Insurance Policy, and Test and Inspection Certificate. Stay with me. What is a Certificate of Origin? A Certificate of Origin is an international document that indicates the place where the goods were manufactured, and it is usually prepared and issued by the Chamber of Commerce of each country. When you want to export a product, you need to go to the Chamber of Commerce of the country from which the goods are to be exported and obtain this Certificate of Origin. This certificate is usually generated and issued through the Integrated Certificate of Origin system and has a tracking code that allows it to be traced. This certificate is considered one of the most important documents for customs clearance, and for the country importing the goods, it is very important to know exactly which country the goods originate from, which country the goods were manufactured, produced, and processed in, and usually for most shipments, this document is necessary and essential. One of the important uses of the Certificate of Origin is that the country exporting the goods can benefit from discounts using this certificate, and in fact, by presenting the Certificate of Origin, it can prove that it has exported the goods and thus take advantage of export discounts. What information is included in the Certificate of Origin? The details of the sender or exporter of the goods, which must match the bill of lading. The details of the recipient or importer, which also must match the bill of lading. The name of the country of manufacture based on the customs license. The details of the type of transport vehicle in accordance with the bill of lading. The complete specifications of the goods according to the license and bill of lading, including net and gross weight, the number and type of packages, and all their details. The invoice number and date for the sale of the goods, the stamp and signature of the exporter, and the stamp and signature of the authority issuing the Certificate of Origin. I'm sure it's happened to you many times that the person actually exporting the goods comes to you and says, "Give me a copy of the bill of lading. I need to get a Certificate of Origin." In fact, when the goods are loaded, you provide them with a draft bill of lading that contains all the details: shipper, consignee, goods specifications, means of transport, everything. Using that, along with other export documents like the export license, they go to the Chamber of Commerce and obtain their Certificate of Origin. And if you've noticed, there's a specific stamp that's placed at the bottom of this draft stating that this version of the bill of lading is prepared solely for submission to the Chamber of Commerce and has no other value. Most of you who are involved in export have definitely come across this stamp. The next important document that we really want to talk about here is the comprehensive insurance policy. In cargo transportation, the insurance policy is a document through which the insurer receives a premium from the policyholder. The insurer is actually the insurance company that insures the goods, and the policyholder is the owner of the goods who goes to the insurance company to request insurance. The policyholder pays a premium to the insurance company, and in return, the insurer insures the goods. This insurance is provided in exchange for that premium, which is actually calculated based on the value of the goods. In the insurance policy, it is clearly specified that the goods are being transported from one point to another. The type and quantity of goods, as well as their value, are clearly specified, and if the goods are lost, damaged, or if the policyholder incurs any expenses related to these risks, the insurance company is actually required to cover these costs. However, a deductible is usually considered in this process, which is the responsibility of the policyholder. The topic of insurance in transportation is a very broad subject, which we will thoroughly examine together in a dedicated section, including what cargo insurance actually is. We will also cover what liability insurance for transport companies entails, and we will have a detailed lesson on this together. Well, the very next important document we want to thoroughly review together here is the Official Certificate of Inspection. This crucial certificate is indeed one of the essential shipping documents typically issued by specialized inspection companies to meticulously ensure the precise accuracy of both the exact quantity and the overall quality of the purchased goods. What this certificate examines includes ensuring the absence of defects in the goods, the origin of manufacture, the size and dimensions of the goods, proper packaging, correct labeling on the packages, the method of loading and unloading, selection of appropriate means of transport, and similar issues. These are checked and the certificate is issued when the goods are being handed over to the carrier, either in the country of origin, at customs, or at the port of discharge. Inspection is carried out to ensure that the goods comply with the specified standard requirements. The Standards Institute actually determines the scope of this inspection. The inspection company inspects the goods based on the standard limits set and issues the relevant certificate. In fact, conducting this test or inspection depends on the agreement between the buyer and the seller, and it is not something that is always required or necessary. That is, we do not have this in every shipment. If the buyer or seller feels it is necessary and wants this test or inspection to be carried out, they come to an agreement, submit the request, and an inspection company comes to perform these inspections and issues the required certificate according to the relevant standard. Thank you, friends. We have reached the end of Part C of Section 7. I sincerely hope that this presentation was both incredibly useful and genuinely interesting for you.